Look at this dude. Wait till you see the. No, 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 no.
Well guys, it's finally done. I managed to clear Dire, but 100% I did not think I was ever going to do Dire this patch. I did have a pretty good team for the first boss, but let me tell you, the amount of HP inflation with this boss here is ridiculous. I don't know what gave them the idea that this HP was okay, because as you'll see, even if you have pretty good builds, you're barely clearing. Luckily, this shock trooper is a rerun, so I already knew I could theoretically do it with my Skirk. It wouldn't be easy, but I knew I could do it. The problem is that Skirk uses Farina, and Battlefield 3, this is the Neuvillette boss. If I don't have Farina, there's no way I could do it. But it turns out you can pull off some crazy miracles with Xingqiu. So let me show you guys the gameplay, and then I'll show you my builds and explain some strats. I don't even have one. Yes! So this was my Neuvillette team, and I've got a pretty good Neuvillette build. I've got a signature weapon, and I have a lot of pretty good artifacts here. Probably one of the best built characters on my entire account, to be honest. C0, and then that's the talents. The Xingqiu build, though, this was quite sus. What I ended up going for was Favonius sword and instructor set. All you have to do is be on field with the Xingqiu and then just left click, and you automatically vape any one of the crabs. You'll get this EM buff. Next character was Sucrose. I used Nahida's signature weapon because I needed every bit of damage possible, and then just a normal VV set, and then just a very normal Shilonen, nothing special. Favonius sword, and then scroll set. Now my Skirk team build, again, the Shock Trooper is a rerun boss, so I basically equipped the exact same artifacts as I had last time. Nothing too crazy. My Skirk's pretty good, but it's definitely not the best Skirk in the game. I think it's like 30 substats maybe. And then I got a Scoffier with a lot of energy recharge with a signature weapon, and then the scroll set, because in this team you need Skirk to nuke as much as possible. You need max damage, so you want all the buffing sets on your supports, including Farina, stack her out with energy recharge, Favonius sword again, and then the tenacity set, very important here. Maybe if you have higher investment you don't need all these buffs, but I definitely did personally. And the Mona, again, stack her with energy recharge, TTDS, Noblesse, maxing out on the buffs. Now the last team was my Nefer team, and I do not have a bad Nefer at all. I don't have the best Nefer, but I have a signature weapon, and I think I have maybe 30 or 31 substats. It's a pretty decent Nefer build. I actually had to craft this goblet here and re-roll this circle in order to get the clear. So it's not a bad build, but I barely cleared. I don't know how this works. I've got a pretty good Llama build as well. You need a lot of energy recharge on her, but I've got quite a lot of EM because I'm running the event weapon and double EM. And again, this pretty good build, it just barely cleared. I don't know what to tell you guys. Now here's my Columbina build. I'll get into the strategies behind this in a second, but there's actually a variation you can do. I went with SMS though, as this is my best set for Columbina. And then the last character was Nahida. Her build doesn't make that much of a difference, I guess. I got on Favonius Codex and Deepwood Memories. C0. So a strat I can give you for the first boss. First of all, you basically have to know how to animation cancel on Nefer. There's no two ways about it. I just barely cleared even with animation cancels. But one interesting thing is with Columbina's build. Now I used SMS, but what might actually be the tech is using Instructor on Columbina and using her to buff your team's EM. And then you'd give SMS to maybe Nahida, and then you'd give Lama Deepwood. Now you might be thinking, why would you ever give Instructor to Columbina? This would absolutely kill her damage. No one ever does this. Why would you do this? First of all, the reason why I didn't do it is because my Instructor pieces are terrible. I literally equipped a build and I ended up having 60 crit damage total. Get rid of that one, I had 60 crit rate, 60 crit damage. So my build was terrible. But the reason why you might want to try it is this boss here, from what I understand, it takes triple damage from lunar reaction damage. Nefer basically does 100% lunar reaction damage. It's basically all of her damage. So it means sacrificing Columbina's damage and just funneling all into super hyper carry Nefer can actually work out well. If the boss is taking triple damage from Nefer, then forget all your support damage, just focus on Nefer. Last team was my scuffed Neuvillette team. One tip I can give you, aside from giving a buffing set to Xingqiu, like I said earlier, Instructor or Archaic Petra, but one thing is, I think a lot of my damage came from the recoil damage, and all the minions take vaporized damage, so this is why Sucrose is really good here. And another thing is, if you have something like Favonius Codex, I think that would work really well, because it would allow you to spam Sucrose's burst, and whenever you spam Sucrose's burst, you get really high uptime on this EM buffs here. I didn't have Favonius Codex. I think it could have been a bit easier if I did. I did try Quasar, I didn't manage to quite get it, but for me, I think Sucrose worked better this time. Anyway, hopefully this helps you guys clear Stygian. Maybe not Dire, but maybe Fearless. Honestly, Fearless still has a lot of HP. This Stygian is completely brutal, but good luck, guys.